How many languages do you speak? I speak three. English, hello hello. Turkish, merhaba nasılsın? One on the way, Lithuanian. Labas, kaip sekasi? Some people talk 5, 6 languages and they are polyglot. I don't know how they can learn so fast. I would like to ask my question to the person who holds the camera right now. Anna. Hello everybody, welcome to our new video. Today I am with Anna and we will be talking about, is it hard to learn a new language? I think it's not easy.
No, it's extremely hard.
Okay, so let's start with your tips.
Oh, really? I think first of all we have to be very motivated. Let's say we have to know why we are doing this, why we need to learn new language. Because sometimes when you go to any European country or another country, you can just know English and that's it.
Okay.
But sometimes you need to know local language. So here is a question: is it hard to learn local language when you come to your new country, let's say for studying abroad or for work? And I think it's a really crucial topic nowadays, especially in August. We are filming it in beautiful August in Kaunas, since the new academic year is coming. Many new students are coming in September, in the end of August, to Kaunas, to other countries, other cities to start their journey, let's say study journey. And I think we can give them some useful tips how to adapt in new city, new country, specifically speaking about the language.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Anna. So, how many languages do you speak? So, we already talked about this topic. They can watch our other videos as well. But how many languages do you speak? How was your journey? So, can you tell a little bit about your tips and your journeys?
Yes, sure. So I speak Ukrainian, Russian, English, Lithuanian, and Italian. I talk to you these languages in the order how I learned it or I knew it before. So I've been learning English at school, but I can't say that I learned a lot after graduation. I could speak barely. Of course, I learned English at the university, but I was always seeking for some improvement. So I tried to visit and attend many speaking clubs with native speakers, just to to listen to native speakers. Yeah, I think it's extremely important. And of course, after my arrival to Lithuania, I started to learn Lithuanian language. And when I went to Erasmus to Italy, I don't Italian language.
You started, yeah.
Now my situation is that I use all these 5 languages actively
Okay.
every day, almost every day. But the proportion of this of the usage of these languages they are is different. Yeah. For example, at my work, I speak English, Lithuanian, Ukrainian, sometimes Russian, also sometimes Italian, and it's every day like this. So my brain sometimes is mixing all languages. Could you imagine? By the way, in your job, in your everyday life, do you have similar situation? How many languages usually do you use?
Yeah, I can also talk a little bit about my experience, but I really like your experience, like 5 languages and you are using every day. But this is very good to do practicing and because without practice you forget. For example, yeah, let's look at my situation right now. So I always want to improve my Lithuanian language, but I have no place to practice specifically because of my work and my studying. I am doing my PhD here, so my studies are in English. So I am using English language for my readings, for writing, for communication with my colleagues and everyone. And about my works, now I am working on Erasmus Plus projects, writing, management. Again, all partners, we are communicating in English and so on and so forth. So, of course, I am talking with my close friends and my families in Turkish. So, yeah, in my daily life, I use mainly Turkish and English, but Lithuanian is very specific situation. For example, last time I had always concern to go to hospital because I was worried about if I go to receptionist, maybe they will not understand me, they will speak only Lithuanian. When you go to governmental organizations, hospitals, banks, and people mainly talking in Lithuanian. So it was always concern for me, but last time I was very sick and I needed to go to hospital to register my family doctor and to go to, and then I went to receptionist. I took my courage and I study a little bit. How can I ask some question? How can I say aš norėčiau Registroyu, şeyi Mosquito'ya.
Yeah,
And then in the reception, I speak only in Lithuanian.
really.
Yeah, and I solved the problem,
Oh.
When you need to, as you were mentioning at the beginning, when you need to use this language, you push yourself and you learning and you are practicing. And now I practice the situation in the hospital. So if I go to hospital again, I will solve all my problems. So at least right now I learn. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't use Lithuanian too much. But of course, I'm living in this country, and my future plan is also in this country. So if I learn the local language, I know how can I catch more opportunities. I totally can see that because sometimes I got some offers from my supervisors or some friends, colleagues, but they have some criteria to learn Lithuanian language and so on and so forth. I can see that. I can see the opportunities. So that's the reason maybe when you practice more in daily life, especially local languages, it's good to develop. Like, let's say it's practicing in the daily life in local people. I think it's the best practice to learn a new language.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And speaking also about the situation in the hospital, yeah, and I could relate. Sometimes I also repeat in my mind, several phrases, which if I would like to explain some difficult concepts to
Okay.
my colleagues or other persons in Lithuanian. Of course, before I try to repeat, to think before, yeah, what I would like to say and
Okay.
how I would like to say. So it's not like improvisation,
Okay.
not
Yes, yes.
always, yeah. Sometimes it's like just fluent and you are just talking, but yes, even me, I mean, I need this preparation before. Also, I think it's important to know yourself, how you are learning, yeah, your way of learning. I think it's important part of your self-awareness. For example, I like this type of learning when I can watch some videos in the local language, I mean, let's say Lithuanian, yeah, and I can catch some phrases, I can write it down, and maybe I will repeat it later and I will use it. I like reels, I like videos, sometimes alert on
Okay,
YouTube,
yeah.
or just sometimes I'm listening it. And I think for me it's useful because I like this format. Speaking about grammar and some exercises, I think I have to do it. I must. But for now I don't have a lot of motivation and energy for this.
Okay.
So I now, for example, I prioritize video and let's say this immediate content, yeah, on
Okay.
social media, because that's why my brain is catching all these
Yes, yes, yes,
phrases.
yes.
In your case, what works for you better? Like, what is your style of learning?
Very good question. Actually, when I listen something, yeah, I learn better. So maybe I am audio learner. So and another thing also put yourself in uncomfortable situation maybe. As I told you in hospital, right? So when I get sick, of course I should go to hospital and I should talk somehow or I need help from another friend and so on and so forth. But I think another thing is observation. Observation your circle every day, let's say when you go into library, when you go into university, or when you talk with the cashier in supermarket. So every time. So this is observation is very important. For example, in our institute, our seminars holding in Lithuanian languages. So this is academic language, and yeah, my friends, my colleagues presenting, let's say, they're studying their PhD thesis in Lithuanian. It's very hard for me to understand. But of course, I am generally observing their, let's say, conversational communication. Let's say when they are in the corridor, I'm just observing, I'm just try to listening what they are saying. So in which situation I can use that. For example, I can share my another memory when I was in train. One guy came to me and he asked me, "Are ujimtu?" Yeah, maybe I told you before. Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. Are ujimtu? So I understand that this seats is free, and I said yes, but he confused, and but I am saying you can sit like here, like, and he smiled and sit, and I was ask him. What did you ask me? What is the meaning of this ar ujimtu? And he told me, is it taken? So is it yeah? Is it taken or not? So I should say no or ne, like yeah. I should say no. But for example, this moment teach me this phrase, and now I never forget because it was a bit uncomfortable situation that I feel a bit nervous. Did I do correct or mistake or yeah something like this? And then I learned. I think this situation, even we are afraid because I save myself to go into uncomfortable situation because I worried, when I go to some organization, some bank or something like this. Okay, so I shouldn't do this because I cannot speak, I cannot express myself clearly. So that reason, okay, let's choose English, not Lithuanian. And then I choose the easy way. But I think I should push a little bit. So how can I communicate in Lithuanian? I think for me it would be the best way to learn in uncomfortable situation.
And I think it refers to my next tip is to create your own opportunities. I mean, you did it. Yeah. You create this, let's say, situation, or you just had to think over and prepare, get ready for this all stuff. But of course, sometimes you have to be proactive and create your own opportunities. Let's say, I don't know, join any language exchange club in your city, or create your own language exchange event, meetup, club, whatever, whenever. For example, now in summer, in all July, we have been learning Italian language within Italian speaking club, and Speak Lithuania helped us with this. We get all support, and it was awesome. I mean, you can imagine, summer, there are not a lot of activities, many people are on vacation, but there are still many people who would like to have this, meetings, community meetings, yes. And for example, we have been organizing these Italian speaking clubs events twice per week, and next week we're gonna have two last lessons. And I'm so surprised how time is flying, it's just we just have already started and just the end. So my tip is to be proactive. For example, if you are coming to a new city, new country, yeah, of course you have to do research, you have to Google, you have to ask on Facebook, maybe on Facebook communities about any speaking clubs, language exchanges. But if you can't find, you can organize your own, and I think it's really, really good and reciprocal. Another thing is similarities of languages. If we are coming back to the topic, is it hard to learn new language? It depends on is it similar to your native language or languages you have already known before or learned before. And for example, I guess that, for example, I know Italian language. So for me, learning Spanish after Italian could be easier. I don't have any plans to learn Spanish. Yeah, but in my opinion, it would be easier for me. If I would like to learn Japanese, yes,
it would be challenging.
it's really difficult, yeah, and I will need to put more energy, more efforts, resources. It could be even different approach as I used to do before. I need discipline. I need structure, I need curriculum. So in this case, I think courses, trainings in groups, online, offline, could be very helpful. Other way is to get your tutor, and it could be for free or not for free, depends on the format you choose. Because what I like about Lithuania, about Kaunas and Vilnius, as I mentioned, we have many language meetups, and it's really mutual because you can help foreigner, let's say, with your language or with local language, and back you can get some basic knowledge of him or her language. I don't know, for example, someone who are coming here to Lithuania for Erasmus studies, let's say from Spain, and he or she could organize any language meetup where he or she can share her language, Spanish, and back get Lithuanian basic, some tips. And also, it's not also only about languages, it's about culture, some tips how to survive in Lithuania. Because, every semester since last year, we have speaking clubs in our university, in Vytautas Magnus University, and I always invite and encourage exchange students to organize their own speaking clubs. And the main focus is that you don't need only to share your language and culture, but these meetings gonna be really reciprocal, let's say survival basic knowledge about Lithuania, and Lithuanian students who gonna participate in these future clubs, let's say, they can share with you their, I don't know, life hacks, tips, how to feel local in Kaunas, and to give you many useful tips.
All right, Anna, thank you very much. It was very useful talk, and we learned a lot of things about how to learn a new language by discussing is it hard to learn a new language. So is it hard or easy? So please write on the comment section. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. In this channel, we have other episode with Anna talking about languages. You can find some other videos with Anna by talking about languages or career management and so on and so forth. So please check also our videos if you enjoy this one. And please subscribe to our channel to support our works. And see you at the next chapter. Bye bye.
Bye bye.